So after a ton of research, they have the fiberglass insulation. You can get rock wool, the closed or open cell spray foam. But we actually went with maybe a greener option, which is actually sheep's wool. And all this is from sheep that are raised in New Zealand. And the company that we bought it from, they're either based out of California or Nevada. I can't remember which one. But the company's name is called Havelock. They kind of got their start, I think, doing like insulation for like van conversions and things like that. But then they started getting into the residential, and so they make a product that's chemical free. I'm gonna let Susie tell you all the research, because to be honest, she's the one that did most of the research. But it finally came in today, and it happened to come in at the worst possible time because we had sunny skies, and I don't know if you can tell, but we are soaked. It was 5 pallets, and as soon as we got the 5th pallet off the truck, it just downpoured. And all these came, they're all, looks like they're all like vacuum compressed and maybe vacuum sealed. And so as far as moisture getting to them, I wasn't too concerned. But sometimes when you're shipping stuff like this, these bags can get punctured by a sharp nail on the pallet, or from them handling it with the forklifts. And so I really wasn't 100% sure if all of them were sealed or not. And it looks like I've only found one that had a little puncture spot on it. And that's why we rushed to, even though it was pouring down rain, to go ahead and get them in the house in case there were mainly that bottom layer that I was concerned about. I didn't want it to get wet. So we got wet getting them in here. But let me show you what all we have. So for this house, we're doing R22 in the ceilings, and then R16 in the walls. All the walls are 16-inch centers. Most of our ceiling is 16-inch, but we do have some in the den that is 24-inch on center. And so we got hopefully the right amount of wool to do that as well. So anyway, we're really excited to get some of this put in and see how it goes.
Hey guys, I was just going to share with y'all why we chose the Havelock wool insulation for our new home. As a family, we definitely are not perfect, and there are definitely choices that we still make that aren't as sustainable and that we feel like we can't conquer right now, or that just feels like too much at the moment. But overall, we want to make choices within our means that are more sustainable. And again, it seems like there's always new information about things that are almost conflicting on which is more sustainable than something else. But what I've learned is that we've just really tried to take baby steps in that direction, and over time it makes a huge difference. And we said that kind of like we wouldn't waste what was already there. But if we're going to be putting stuff into a home, I just really want to think through those choices, because when we gutted this place, pretty much most of it went into the landfill, into a dumpster. And this, if we take it back out, it can go in our garden and not have any chemicals, and actually be nutritious and helpful for our garden. But I think we've gotten into a culture of just hyper consumerism, and I want to leave the earth better than when we found it. And I want to teach our children that like we are stewards with what we can do to try to be better. It is also not just sustainable, but it's also a really great product, I believe. It was really neat because the owner actually called me back and just sat on the phone with me and described in great detail. He just had done his research, and it was like he knew all the properties of all the different types of insulation that he had really just felt like didn't set the bar, I guess, for him. And he was just really searching for that standard, and that's what he came up with. And so it was just refreshing to be able to have a conversation about somebody that cared not just about the money, but also about trying to have a company that did things, quote unquote, the right way. And I'm not saying that there's not other good insulation or anything else. That was just really a breath of fresh air. Wool is very, it's moisture wicking, so it will breathe in any moisture that it takes in, and then it will like go to the other side. So it basically like bursts it out on the other side. So it's not going to just hold moisture and cause mold. So it's naturally mold resistant. It's naturally pest resistant. It has like superior sound absorption. I've talked to a couple of people that said that they actually got greater R values than with any other insulation. Again, have I tested that yet? I don't know, but I do feel like it's not only sustainable, but I do feel like it's a product that can really insulate your home well, keeping it cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Also, because of its properties and because it doesn't have formaldehyde and other things in there, it actually creates a better air quality. And what I have learned through the years, or things that I didn't even think about, is how much some of our building materials have a lot more chemicals and stuff in them. Also, they were great about telling me about different applications, because we were trying to figure out like metal versus wood and how to make sure you didn't have any moisture problems and making sure it could breathe. But it sounds like, and from what I understand, that it can be used for any application. It might be that you need different mesh breathability vapor barriers or things like that, which they are happy to talk to you about if you have a project that's different. But I love that it can be used on pretty much any application. So, I would love to give y'all an update as we eventually move into the house and are able to see the energy efficiency in it. But overall, we were just trying to put in a more sustainable option and go with a company that we felt like really cared and was still reasonable as far as cost goes. And they are actually going to start having it in Lowe's and Home Depot soon, so that will help with the shipping costs. So anyway, that's why we chose Havelock Wool. One other thing I just wanted to say is I don't want people to feel like there's this guilt trip or anything, or that where I am in my journey is better than anybody else's, because again, there's plenty of things that I have to grow and learn, and decisions that I make that are not the best decisions all the time. But this is just something that convicted me and made me really think about things a little more. We have a dear friend that told me something a while ago that really stuck with me. And he said, if we just prioritize supporting companies and things that we really believed in, that really were trying to make a difference, over buying so much material stuff that we quote unquote think we need at Stein Mart, which I know that's an older store, but just another retail store, then we really can make a difference. And that just was convicting to me, because it is so easy to just rationalize in my head that we need another thing or that this is really important. But when I do that, it's true. I don't have anything left. And sometimes there's not that to begin with, and we have to figure that out and pray through that on our own. But there is a little more room when I try to prioritize that and really think through the extra things that we purchase. So that's all.
The link for Havelock's wool insulation will be in the description. And if you want to follow us on our journey of building our new farm, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to catch our latest videos. Thank you for watching. We'll see y'all in the next video.